Have you ever looked at your mother and felt a secret sting of embarrassment? Maybe it was the way she wore the same faded floral dress to every wedding for 10 years. Maybe it was the way she obsessively collected plastic bags, or the way she scrubbed floors on her hands and knees until her knuckles bled. We spend our youth being ashamed of our parents' smallness, never realizing they made themselves small so that we could stand on their shoulders and reach the stars. Today on Stories with Noni, I am going to tell you the story of Sarah and her mother, Martha. This is a story about a secret hidden for 30 years, a secret that sat right beneath Sarah's feet while she slept. It's a story about a mother who was called a miser by her own daughter. Only for the daughter to find out that her mother was actually the greatest investor in history. If you believe a mother's love is the closest thing to God's love on earth, hit that subscribe button right now. Join our Stories with Noni family. If you love your mother, hit the like button and share this video immediately. You might just change someone's heart before it's too late. God bless you as you listen. The source of the shame: Sarah was a rising star in the fashion world of New York. She dealt with silk, cashmere, and high-end designers. But her childhood in a small, damp apartment was something she tried to erase. Her mother, Martha, was a simple seamstress who took in repairs for the neighborhood. Sarah hated the sound of that sewing machine. Whir. 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 To Sarah, it wasn't the sound of hard work, it was the sound of her poverty. Martha was obsessed with saving. She wouldn't buy a new toaster when theirs broke, she would toast bread over a fork on the stove. She wouldn't buy Sarah the cool sneakers, she would hand-stitch patches onto Sarah's old ones. "Mom, you're so cheap." Sarah would scream. "We have money. You work 18 hours a day. Where does the money go?" Martha would never answer. She would just look down at her needle and say, "The stitches I make today, Sarah, are the threads of your tomorrow. Just study. Just grow." The breaking point, the turning point came on Sarah's wedding day. Sarah was marrying into a wealthy family. She wanted a designer gown from Paris. Martha spent 6 months secretly sewing a dress for her daughter, a masterpiece of lace and hand-pro work. When Martha presented it, Sarah didn't even try it on. "I can't wear this, Mom. People will know it's homemade. They'll know we're poor." "I already bought a dress from a boutique." Martha didn't cry. She just wrapped the dress in a white sheet and put it away. That was the last time Sarah visited the apartment for 10 years. She sent checks, but Martha never cashed them. She sent letters, but Martha never replied. Sarah thought her mother was being stubborn and bitter. How many of you have ever rejected a gift from your parents because it wasn't expensive enough? The weight of that regret is heavier than any mountain. If you need to ask for forgiveness, type "Mama" in the comments right now. Let's heal together here at Stories with Noni. The return and the mystery. Martha passed away on a cold Tuesday. Sarah returned to the apartment, not out of love, but out of duty. She planned to sell the place and be done with it, but as she was moving the heavy, old sewing table, she noticed something. One of the floorboards was loose. Not just loose, it had been sanded down so it could be lifted easily. Underneath the floorboard wasn't gold. It wasn't jewelry. It was a collection of thousands of medical records and a small, blue ledger. Sarah opened the ledger. The first entry was from the year she was born. Sarah's heart surgery fund, $2 saved from Mrs. Gable's hem. Sarah froze. She didn't know she had heart surgery as a baby. Her mother had never told her. She flipped through the pages. Sarah's university fund, $5 saved by skipping dinner. Sarah's first apartment deposit, $10 saved by walking to work instead of the bus. The final reveal: at the very bottom of the whole was a final envelope. It contained a deed to a massive storefront in the center of the New York fashion district, the very place Sarah had dreamed of owning her own boutique. The letter inside read, "My dearest Sarah. You hated the sound of my machine, but every stitch was a penny for your dream. I knew you were ashamed of my hands, so I kept them hidden. I knew you were ashamed of this apartment, so I saved every cent to buy you a palace. I didn't want you to love me because I was rich, I wanted you to fly because I gave you wings. The dress I made for your wedding? Look inside the lining. Sarah ran to the closet and unwrapped the white sheet. She ripped open the lining of the handmade dress. Inside, sewn into the very fabric against the heart, were the uncashed checks Sarah had sent her mother over the last 10 years. Martha hadn't spent a single penny on herself. She had lived in the cold, eaten crusts of bread, and worn rags so that when she was gone, her daughter would never have to sew a single stitch in her life. The lesson: this is the heart of a mother. They are the silent architects of our success. They take the insults, they take the shame, and they turn it into the fuel that powers our lives. If your mother is still here, go to her. Don't look at her old clothes, look at the love that kept you warm. If she is gone, live a life that makes her sacrifices worth it. Type "I honor my mother" in the comments. Share this video with every daughter and son you know. Subscribe to Stories with Noni. We are a family of love, honor, and truth. Thank you for spending this time with me. Thank you for being part of this family. Go tell your mother you love her. We will see you in the next story. Stay blessed. Stay grateful. Stay motivated.